Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. How's it going? I'm on a roll. It's going great. So you want to be a singer? Why you want to do that? So here we are with another So You Want to Be a Singer. I'm going to call this one Learn a Language. And why do I say that? I say that for this reason. You know, learning another language is also always a wonderful thing, I think, especially if you decide to travel outside the country. But as a performer, it's especially wonderful because you kind of, I always talk about your circle of influence. You definitely increase your circle of influence if you know another language and fluently. And it's better to start learning when you're young. You know, let me think. In 7th grade, I took Spanish. I think I took French in 8th or 9th. I took Latin in 9th and 10th, so I must have took French in 8th. And then I took German, like while I was in Germany. I lived there for 5 months. And now I'm taking Spanish again, or I'm trying to take Spanish. I'm learning, you know, now and then daily. I actually took a really quick, like 10-week intensive because I was going to Puerto Rico and I wanted to be able to speak a little bit. But even in college, you know, I took vocal music. I was in conservatory, so I had to take diction, and we take this thing called the International Phonetic Alphabet so that you can then start learning diction. And I think we started with Italian, then we went to German, and I left school after 2 years, so we were on our way to French, you know, and we probably would have done Spanish and Russian and blah, blah, blah. But I've done shows. I've sung in Italian, I've sung in German, and I did a show where I spoke my whole script it was Russian. And the nightclub owner that I worked at spoke very little English. And she thought that I sounded like I came from St. Petersburg. And it's because the tape that the guy had made for me that I practiced with was from St. Petersburg, so I kind of picked up his accent and everything. But you should learn a language if you can, especially if you're young. Like I said, you should. And in school, I always say this. I'm talking about taking an instrument, you know, taking choir and voice, taking a language while you're in high school, and especially in the States while it's free. Please do it. It's the best thing in the world. It's free. Learn it. You know, I always recommend Spanish because, you know, even right now, I think that is like the second language of the world. And there's so many different countries that speak Spanish. I know, like, Asian people who speak Spanish. And it's like, well, why you speak Spanish? You know, English, naturally, I would think would be first, and then Spanish. You know, French, Italian, you know, Portuguese, German. You know, so many different wonderful languages. You know, there's no better way to make me feel ignorant, which means you don't know, than for me to be in another country and not be able to say anything to somebody, or even to be here in the States and someone is trying to get directions or something, or trying to communicate with me, and I can't speak to them in a language. So I just feel, I don't know, I feel like I should know all, you know, 1,000 languages there are in the world. And I know it's impossible, but I feel that way. So anyway, I think as a performer, it will definitely increase your range. It will increase your circle of influence, and it will increase your work, you know, because there is so much opportunity in other languages. It's not a new thing either. I know there are now artists who are recording in several languages, but Nat King Cole recorded, I think, in 4 or 5, maybe even more, but I know at least like 5 different languages. And when I found that out, I was like, whoa, you know, this is back when, where, you know, Americans weren't thinking about trying to learn another language. So learn another language, a second language, I should say that. And this is Robert Anton. That's all I'm going to say about this. If you have questions or something, let's try to keep this short. I talk too much, I know. Check out my website, robertanton.com. I'm out.